do like a proper intro. All right, these are the roster upgrades for the update coming out on August 5th. And I mentioned this in my Twitch streams earlier this week that hitters were kind of tough to come by. I didn't see a bunch of hitters that jumped off the page. I solicited some names from y'all, and I think you helped me with some. Didn't need help with this one. Miguel Cabrera was an easy one to kind of figure out. He's kind of out of his mind again right now, which is part of the reason that the Tigers have won 8 in a row. Should have worn my Tigers hat, to be honest. This was just the first one I picked up, especially after JD's home run yesterday. So amazing. He should get an upgrade to Diamond just for that. But Miguel Cabrera was downgraded on May 12th. And since then, he's gone 315, 394, 593 with 20 bombs in 312 plate appearances. That's a 46 home run pace over a full season. So we're going to hit him with the +5 all the way up to 99. You got it right. And then the +10 up to 84 here. However, we are going to go -5s here. We got to hit him with some -5s against lefties. So check this out. Let me do the righty first. Why I got him at 99, 84. For the season, 342, 403, 668 with a 14% strikeout rate and 327 ISO. Those are his numbers versus righties. Obscene. I mean, Miguel Cabrera, as you expect. Interestingly, not so good against lefties this year. 240 average, 367 on base, just a 387 slug with a 23% strikeout rate and a 147 ISO. Those aren't good, so you got to ding him a little bit. Now, he has a history that's going to keep him from going down too far. As you notice, I still got him at an 86, 80 against lefties. That's still going to be pretty healthy, but had to downgrade him there. Let's see what that does. 96. He's still getting upgraded, though. He's still getting upgraded. 2 points, even with the ding against lefties. Now, this might be a little bit interesting. I don't know if this has ever happened. None of the other hitting upgrades are guys that are already in the 80s. Everyone else that we got for hitters are 79 and below. It was just that kind of week. All the names that keep popping up are still the ones that I've already been upgrading. So check previous videos or check the Google Doc that I created with last week's upgrades on it to see who I still like. Those guys still deserve it, but I didn't want to review them yet again. I wanted to get some new names out there. So next up is Josh Reddick. Obviously, he's going to go to a new team on this upgrade, but he also deserves some boosts here. Now, this is another interesting one, though, because I think he's going to go down against lefties, but up against righties, and it should still yield an upgrade, but we'll see. Contact versus righties all the way up to 82. Power versus righties all the way up to 75. He's just a monster against righties. 945 OPS, 11% strikeout rate. He's 22nd in baseball in OPS against righties since 2014. That puts him similar to Adrian Gonzalez and Adam Lind, and so I made his numbers kind of similar to theirs. Again, that's since 2014, so they used the last 3 years. I'm not just going off of this year. I'm looking at the historicals, and I'm saying that Josh Reddick still needs a big upgrade. Now, against lefties, though, it's bad. It's really bad. He's unusable. It's not a good situation right now. I got him down to 37 and 40. He's got a decent 16% strikeout rate against lefties, but that's the best I can. That's the only redeeming factor. He has the second worst OPS of lefty versus lefty since 2014. 8th worst ISO. What can you really say? I mean, you can't do much here, but a 37 and a 40. I think that's the best I can really do for him without crushing him. We'll see if that kills it too much and okay, it did not smash out the upgrade. He still gets an upgrade from 79 to 82. So obviously it becomes a platoon bat. Look at how good he is against righties. The outfield, the defense is still really good. 55 speed is, whatever. But against lefties, you just can't mess with him. So if you draft him in BR, or if you put him on an all-silver squad, you better have a lefty mashing replacement. Might I suggest Marcell Ozuna, who deserves an upgrade as well, but did not make the list because we've been talking about it forever, and I'm just not going to keep reviewing the same guys. All right, next up, Mitch Moreland is on one right now. Small upgrade here, nothing too crazy. I got him going up to 72, 83 here. Another guy who he only has 8 plate appearances against lefties in the last month plus, I think. So I'm not even messing with it. I'm just leaving it as it doesn't matter. He's actually been all right against lefties this year, but in a very, very small sample. They don't play him against lefties. But his last month against righties, he's got a 304, 360, 739 with 6 bombs. So we're going to boost it against righties, and we'll leave him against lefties. We'll see what that does. Probably a couple points, maybe 1 or 2. 79. So 2-point upgrade there for Mitch Moreland. For those of you just coming into the Twitch chat, I'm in the midst of this right now. You know what? Let me do this really fast though. Let me go ahead and fix this so it can be found. There we go. Anyway, back to it. Let's go. Next up, Mike Napoli. Mike Napoli. Party at Napoli's, huh? Cleveland, not playing so well lately. This Tigers fan does not mind that, but it isn't Mike Napoli's fault. That's for damn sure. Now, I just gave him a power upgrade. That's all I really did. Now, there's not a whole lot to be done here, but I want to acknowledge the fact that he has a 504 slug against righties, 516 against lefties. So I bumped him 4 points here and 6 points here. He's just a power monster. I was looking for a way to upgrade this contact. It's not in the cards, man. He strikes out way too much, but when he makes contact, ball go far. So just a small power upgrade here. Takes him from 76 to 78. That's a silver, though. Next up, sticking in the AL Central, Maximilian MF and Kepler. He has been such a beast. Now, he was just upgraded on July 15th. And all he's done since then is hit 306, 394, 742 with 7 home runs in 71 plate appearances. That's ridiculous. Contact versus righties, 5-point upgrade to 60. He's got a 278 average, 17% strikeout rate. 278 average is not over the top, but a 17% strikeout rate, you definitely like that. Power versus righties, that's where we get the bigger upgrade here, 77. 11-point upgrade there. 384 ISO in 13 homers in 155 plate appearances against righties this year. That's unbelievable. He's got a 290 ISO when you include his minor league, which is interesting, though, because his minor league numbers actually bring it down. That's just because he's on an obscene streak right now. He's been great. Nothing against lefties, though. He's still not very good. It's kind of a baby Josh Reddick situation here where he's just not doing enough or really playing enough against lefties to move the needle, but that righty work has to be rewarded. And he goes up to a 79, so another silver from 76 to 79. Next up is out west, Yasmani Tomas. He's been kind of up and down this year, and he's a guy I'll take late in a BR, in a bronze round, because you can get a knock off the bench with him. It's fine. It's fine. Now, it's another similar. This one is similar to the Mike Napoli one, just a power upgrade. And I'm bumping his power versus righties 10 points up to 54, but his power versus lefties, I'm going all the way up to 7. He's got a 184 ISO against righties. That's good, not great. That's what a 54 is, good, not great. But a 311 ISO against lefties. That's 13th best in the majors. Now, that's better than that deserves probably better than a 70, but don't forget, we can't just Maximilian just got a base. I don't know if they're going to call that an error or base knock, but Twins Indians on right now. But I don't think we can't just go off of this here. Remember, we have historicals, and I think a 70 is probably as high as they can get it right now. That's still a 16-point upgrade. It still changed the scope of Yasmani Tomas, and it would take him to a silver from 74 to 78. And that's pretty useful. That remains a useful BR card as a pinch hitter or somebody that you slot in against lefties. All right, next up. This one's going to be interesting. And I don't think they're going to move him to the new position yet. But here's what I'll do. It's Brad Miller. And we'll do the upgrade first. because there's bad news coming for him. And this is another guy, let's see here. Power versus righties, 10 points. He's got a career-high 236 ISO against righties with 16 bombs. Unbelievable. Power versus lefties has to go up. Only to 45, like we're not going crazy, but he's got a 170 ISO against a career .089. So, he's been terrible against lefties. He's less terrible this year. 170 is pretty solid for lefty on lefty. Still got to keep him below average. So I'll do that. That's the upgrade. It's a power upgrade. And we'll see if that gives him a couple points here. 75. Okay, so it gives him a 2-point upgrade. And we're going to leave that as is right now. But bad news coming. He's probably going to get moved to first base soon. And I think that's going to kill him. Move him down to like a 12 or something. Let's see. Move them all the way back to 72. So we take him from 73 to 75 as a shortstop, but I don't know if it's going to be this week or next. They're going to have to move him to first base because Matt Duffy's going to be their shortstop now, and he's going to go right back down to a 72. So for now, we're going to count it as a 2-point upgrade because I don't know if they're going to move him to first right away. I don't even think Matt Duffy's back yet. But once that happens, Brad Miller is not going to be great. It's not going to be great. All right, next up is Wilmer Flores. There's no crying in upgrades. I'll understand if you all unsubscribe or unfollow, I mean. All right, he had a 955 OPS against lefties last year. He's at 1088 this year. 7 home runs in both of those seasons. He just needs an upgrade against lefties. I don't know why he's so bad. He's got 2 years now where he's just been excellent. So I got him up to 69 on the contact and 75 on the pop. Pretty useful against lefties. 314 ISO since the start of 2015 against lefties is the 3rd best in baseball with a minimum of 170 plate appearances. That's pretty damn good. Why not get an upgrade for Wilmer freaking Flores? Up to a 77. So not quite up to that silver range, but knocking on the door for sure. Wait, that's Jim Henderson. Either way, still a 77. But he's knocking on the door for sure. And 69, 75 with an 84 vision against lefties, that's useful. That's got some usability. All right, this last one, we love upgrading commons. And by we, I mean me. I'm sure most of you are like, cool, Paul. Super cool. But we're upgrading sweet Hernan Perez. Because he's on fire, man. Let's give him some love. So we'll give him 5 points in both of his contacts. And we'll give him 12 points in both of his powers. Look at him. Look at him moving up. It's not even that useful to move him up. But you know what? He had a 588 OPS through 351 plate appearances through 2015. So far this year, in 214 plate appearances, he's got a 790. So, we're talking about a 232-point upgrade in OPS, over his career. It's worth an upgrade, not a usable one necessarily, but I told you that the names were tough to come by on the hitting side this week if I wasn't just going to redo a bunch of guys. So he goes up to 69. Not bad. That's a bronze, isn't it? Congratulations, Hernan Perez. You're now a bronze. Your life is much better. Hello to everyone coming into the Twitch chat, by the way. All right, let's get over to the pitchers because I think it's a lot more interesting this week specifically. And we do have some repeats because they're still not getting to some guys, but we're going to start with a couple new guys on the same team actually, and the same rating, and the top 2 guys on their team. Yu Darvish, he's been a monster since returning from the disabled list on July 16th. He's got 7.7 hits, 2.4 walks, 14.2 strikeouts, and 2.0 homers. So the homers are bad, but that was 3 homers in one game against Baltimore. Still going to take a little bit of a hit for it. Don't worry, we got it coming. So we're going to go +2 on the strikeouts, +4 on the hits, -4 on the homers. Got to ding him for it. But +5 on the walks. He's got a career best walk rate. So there is still some historical numbers that are impacting his walk rate. I don't think we can get him too crazy on that. but we'll give him a 5-point boost there. And let's see what this does. From an 88 up to an 89. Just a 1-point upgrade. Just a 1-point upgrade. But he deserves it. And you know what? I like a 90. A 90 strikeouts per 9 and an 82. Now, Darvish is a guy who, like, it barely matters what his ratings are. The pitches that he has and just the nastiness of Darvish, you can make him play up better than an 89 anyway. Cole Hamels, also deserving of an upgrade in my estimation. Since the All-Star break, 6.1 hits, 2.6 walks, 9.3 strikeouts, 0.3 homers per 9. And he's actually had 0.3 homers per 9 over his last 9 starts as well. And the reason I mention that is because, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Back out. I don't know what I did there. The reason I mentioned the homer piece is because he started the season with some big home run issues. In fact, even into, I think, May, there were some home run issues for him. But he's really tamped it down for a substantial period now, pretty much since the start of June. So we're over 2 months doing that now. +4 on the hits, +3 on the strikeouts, and +4 back on those homers. So let's see what that does from 88 to 90. So he goes past Darvish, which I'm okay with. I'm going to keep doing this freaking upgrade until it happens. Justin freaking Verlander. I don't know what more he needs to do. He was upgraded on June 24th. Since then, 6.7 hits, nasty. 10.1 strikeouts, nasty. 2.7 walks, solid, not nasty though. 1.0 homers, solid, not nasty. So we're not touching the walks and the homers, that's fine. But we're going +7 on the hits, and we're going +6 on the strikeouts. I don't know what else he needs, man. That moves him to an 86. Let's get it, man. Come on. He is a gold pitcher. It's awesome. And, like, do they not even count that he's, going to get married to Kate Upton? Does that not count at all? Like, get your ratings right. You don't even count the important things. All right, Chris Archer. Man, it's been a struggle for him this year, but I think he actually deserves an upgrade. He was last downgraded on July 15th, so just a couple weeks back. But since then, 6.9 hits, 1.3 walks, 10.3 strikeouts, 1.3 homers. So the homers are still terrible. We're going to leave that at a 45, though. That's already bad enough. But we're going to start getting the other ones back up a little bit here. 3-point upgrade there. 4-point upgrade here. And just a couple ticks on the strikeouts. 2 points. That should move him back to gold, and it does. 84 to 85. This is another one I'm going to keep doing until it happens. I don't always repeat, but there are certain ones that I'm going to keep repeating. I just don't understand, what's going on. I see in the chat there's talk about Zach Britton. I fully agree. He needs to go up. I'm not doing another one for him this week. But I've been doing that one for weeks. I'm fully in on the Zach Britton train. I actually believe Zach Britton should be a diamond. So let me just put that out there, even though I'm not giving him an official upgrade again this week. But I'm giving Danny Duffy another one, and like Verlander, I'm going to keep upgrading Duffy until they do it. I don't know what else he needs to do. I think that his monster start snuck in under the wire of whenever they turn in the upgrade. I don't think they have a set date. I think it's usually between Monday and Tuesday at some point when they turn in the update. That's a Jason Kipnis bomb pop. Holy smokes, man! 1-0 Cleveland. But he had an amazing outing. He had a no-hitter taken into the 8th until Desmond Jennings broke it up. A career high 17 strikeouts, I think, which was also a Kansas City Royal record. So he was just a monster. He's been a monster for a while. He was last upgraded on July 8th. Now, so that's the thing. It's not like he's never been upgraded, but pretty much every week since then, he's deserved another upgrade. So since July 8th, 6.0 hits per 9, 2.0 walks, 10.7 strikeouts, and 0.7 homers. The real big thing, remember when I was giving him upgrades a couple weeks back, the homers were really messed up. It was like 1.5 homers, and so I kept saying, he'll get an upgrade in the other 3, but the homers are going to probably come down. Well, he's taking care of the homers now, and so he's getting an upgrade across the board. I'm going +3 on the hits, +4 on the that's +5. 84 is +5, so that's +5 on the strikeouts, +5 on the homers, and +5 on the walks. That's a pretty big upgrade, but he deserves it. I don't know exactly what pitching clutch does. Is it the same as hitting clutch, where it's just runners in scoring position? I don't know. I didn't look at it. He probably deserves an upgrade there, though. He's a monster. What do we got? 86, deserved. Let's get him to gold, folks. Come on. I don't know what more he needs to do. He's a different pitcher, and I understand that the historical data needs to be factored in, and I'm okay with that. But we also got to be looking and seeing that this is a completely different pitcher at this point. So you give some credence to the historical data, but you also have to acknowledge that we're dealing with a different pitcher here. Next up is Jay Happ. He was just upgraded on July 22nd, but he's just continued to beast out. So he's already a silver, so he's obviously not going up another level. But even since then, upgraded on July 22nd. Since then, 2.8 hits, not a misprint. 2.8 hits, that's ridiculous. 4.8 walks, so obviously he's giving up more walks than hits there. 11.8 strikeouts and 0.7 homers. That's just a couple starts. So I'm looking more at his last 9 starts combined, and it's 7.5 hits, 2.6 walks, 10.3 strikeouts, 1.0 homers. I'm really just focused on the hits and Ks right now. I'm going +5 on each, just to get him a sweet little upgrade here. Probably into the 80s. Yep, 81. Let's do it. So just a better silver. All right, we got one more starter, and then we'll get into the relievers. Staying in the East, this guy's been a monster lately. Dylan Bundy, what's up, dude? Showing why he deserved to be such a highly rated prospect. As a starter, this is just as a starter, handful of starts so far. 5.6 hits, 10.3 strikeouts, 2.1 walks, 2.1 homers. So the homers have been a problem for sure. Everything else has been monstrous. I'm giving him a fat upgrade. Maybe I'm going too crazy here. I don't even know what this is gonna do, but I'm going nuts, y'all. I'm off the wire here in the morning. The morning stream, you don't usually get this over here, so I'm just going crazy. I'm doing +10s in his 3 main categories here. But I'm gonna be tough on him with the homers. I'm going -12, down to 55. So I'm not gonna kill him and make him below average just because of a 2.1 homer rate as a starter. It still is like 5 starts. I think he gave up a couple in one of them. We don't want to go too haywire, but a -12 is still pretty substantial. It's going to curb how much of an upgrade he gets here, but +10s in all of these. This could actually go higher, I would imagine, but I'm going to be conservative. They're pretty tough on young guys with their walk rates, so I'll be conservative. He goes up to a 76, so he's not even a silver yet, but he's getting there. He's getting there, and I'll draft the hell out of this. I already draft him as a bronze starter in BR. I will continue to do so, even with this upgrade, of course. I don't know why I wouldn't. All right, let's go. Now over to the relievers, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I remade the Edwin Diaz card. Now I couldn't change his name because I edited a major leaguer, but I did. I messed with Drew Storen's card. So this is what I think Edwin Diaz should come in as, and it's pretty monstrous. I think he should come in as an 81. Yes, I think he should come in as a silver, because I don't know why, and I bring this up every week, so for those of you that see it every week, I apologize that you keep hearing this. There has to be, the reason that they don't have him in has to be something like he didn't make the Players Association, like he's not in the Players Association officially yet or something. I don't understand why he's not in. But now he's like one of the best closers in baseball all of a sudden. He's been an utter monster with his strikeout rate. He finally got the fastball up there, the slider. He doesn't really throw the changeup, so it's kind of bland, whatever. It can be a bad pitch, that's all right. We just need four-seamer and slider with him. He's pumping it in at 98, getting those crazy strikeouts. He's given up a decent number of hits, so I couldn't even go too high with him on that. But I feel like the hits have probably come down. Either way, This is supposed to be Edwin Diaz, and this is my mock-up of Edwin Diaz in 81. Let's get to the upgrades. Staying in the West, Ken Giles, well, the West Division. Guys, he's been actually amazing for quite a while now. He got downgraded on May 2nd, and it was well deserved. He had a ridiculously bad April. Everything was in turmoil for them. He was a big part of it. Oh, why'd you do that trade? This guy sucks. The team sucks. Everything was going sideways for them. But he's turned it around. Since that downgrade, he's allowed 7.0 hits for 9, 2.8 walks, 13.7 strikeouts, and 0.3 homers. Since July 1st, just kind of looking at the last month plus, he's been even nastier. 3.9 hits, 2.9 walks, 20.5 strikeouts, and 0 homers. He's been a filth monster. So let's get him up to filth monster levels here. We'll give him the +4 on the hits, the +6 on the strikeouts, +5 on the homers, and just +3 on the walks. Nothing crazy there. That's actually +4. We'll leave it. Because, 2.8 since the downgrade, that's not bad. It's not eye-popping, but it's good for him. So we'll still give him a little upgrade there. He's going to get back to gold, I think, with this. He deserves it. Boom, right at gold. Right at gold, 82 to 85 for Ken Giles. Next up is Alex Colomé. He's been a sneak tip great player this year. He's been really, really good. They upgraded him on June 3rd. Since then, 7.8 hits, 4.5 walks, 11.7 Ks, and 1.7 homers. So the walks and homers are pretty bad, but the hits and the Ks are great. I'm going to leave the walks alone, and I'll explain why in a moment. First off, let me get to the upgrades. +7 on the hits. Oh, wait. Yeah. Is that 7? That's 7. Okay, cool. Cool math ability, Paul. +3 on the strikeouts up to 89. -3 on the homers, down to 71. Now, again, I'm leaving the walks alone, and this is why. I know since the upgrade, he's been at 4.5, but a lot of that was confined to a small period in June where he walked a bunch of guys. Since since July 1st, the walks are back down to 1.3. So I think if they kind of look at it, they say, okay, he had a bad period there, but then he got right back on track. We can leave it as is. So I'm going to leave it. They might downgrade it a little bit. I don't know. Either way, let's see what it does. 82 to 83. So not a huge upgrade, but as we tell you a million times, don't get locked in on the overalls. I understand that matters for the market, for those of you that are out there flipping, making stubs. I get it. You want them to be a gold because that will inherently increase its price. But if you're just talking about a good card that you can use, I don't give a damn that he's an 83 when I got all these numbers here. With 4 pitches that are nasty as well. He's got that cutter, the changeup, and the curve. They're all nasty pitches, plus a blazing four-seamer. Actually, is it blazing? What's it get up to? Yeah, 95. So, I mean, this is still a really good card, even though it's not quite a gold yet. All right, next up, another guy who was upgraded recently. So they're, nothing against San Diego. He just deserves another one. Addison Reed. He's been unbelievable. This is interesting. This was a guy I really liked last year. I thought he was going to bounce back and be a good closer, and I actually had a bet with this guy Craig Mish, who's on SiriusXM. He was saying, oh, Addison Reed sucks, and I was like, no, I think he's actually pretty good. And he sucked, so I ate it, man. I said, you're right. It was bad. And then this year, he beasts out, so I was a year early. Unfortunately, that happens to me a lot, where I'm a year early on players. A lot of times, though, I stick by him, so it doesn't usually hurt, but I didn't really... There was no reason to get Addison Reed this year. Last year, he came into the season as a closer. This year, he was a setup guy, so, not even a set, more like a 7th-inning guy. Anyway, he was upgraded on July 15th. I don't know why I always mess up June and July, like I'm going to say. It says 7 right there. That's July, Paul. Come on. But he was upgraded on July 15th. Since then, 6.6 hits, 0 walks, 13.2 strikeouts, and 0 homers, folks. So I went nuts. I went 5s across the board. Up to 80, up to 71, up to 87, and up to 77. He's got a career best hit rate, career best walk rate. He's tied for his career best home run rate, which was last year. So he's got now 2 years in a row of just being a great home run guy. So the home run per nine should probably even be higher. And this is actually his full season career best strikeout rate. He did strike out like 14.5 in his very first taste of the majors, but I think it was like 12 innings. So you could technically say this is his career best strikeout rate as well. Either way, 5s across the board. He's going from a 79 up to an 82. So he's working his way up, and that's a filthy card. I wish there was one more pitch. I don't know why. I don't love four-seam slider, changeup guys. Maybe I should be a little bit more open to them because that can work. You know, you got the four-seamer coming in, you got the slider sweeping across, and then the changeup breaking down. That's workable. How fast is this fastball? 93. So peak meter, you can probably get it up to 95. Let me see if he's throwing harder this year. Let me see. And I see somebody in the comments talking about Addison Reed's track record. I understand. He had a tough year last year, but if you look at it, last year was really his only bad year skills-wise. Otherwise, his entire career, he's been pretty darn good. Okay, that fastball is where it's supposed to be. For some reason, I thought he threw a little bit harder. All right. Who's up next? Ooh, somebody made a great point. Ben Lang, 101. Thank you for that call. Let's do this. We got to move Ken Giles back to closer too. That's actually gonna improve him as well. So boom, that's up to an 87. That's official because he's back in the closer's role. So instead of 82 to 85, it's 82 to 87. Good call on that. And I do have, you're right on the Edwin Diaz as well. So I got to move Drew Storen. Remember, for those of you just coming in, he already was a closer. I changed him before I came out. So this is my mock-up of Edwin Diaz. I just used Drew Storen because I couldn't. When I upgraded another scrub like I did last week with sweet Peter Shaver, I couldn't get his fastball fast enough. So since Drew Storen already had a pretty decent fastball, I was able to upgrade it that way because he throws 98, does Edwin Diaz, and I moved him to closer. Big case. I'm going to check something on Edwin Diaz while I've got. Sorry to do this like in the middle of the video here, but I want to check something to see if he's been limiting hits a little bit more recently. Because I feel like maybe he allowed hits early on. No, he's still allowing the hits. Like I'm just looking since the All-Star break here. Let's see. 7. He's actually allowing 6.9 hits since the All-Star break. He allowed hits pretty frequently early on when he first got to the majors. A couple hits per outing, a lot of different times. He's gotten better recently. If they really wanted to go crazy, they can maybe move that up a little bit more. But I think bringing a brand new card in who's only got 27 major league innings, you don't want to go too nuts. He does have an 8.7 hit per 9 rate, but 17.7 strikeouts. They should create a new threshold so he can have a 105 K per 9 because he's just been so ridiculous. So again, this is Edwin Diaz. This is what I think he should be. Last week I brought him in as like a 71. I'm saying he needs to be an 81 now. He needs to come in as a silver. All right, back to the upgrades. Good call there, Ben. Appreciate that on the Giles bit though, for sure. All right. Oh, somebody else made another good point about new closer. Going back to closer, Kelvin Herrera. That alone should get him an upgrade. But he was already a gold anyway, right? So, but he'll go to 87, right? Was it 85 to 87? I didn't even look before I did it. Yeah, so he's going to get a 2-point upgrade just going back to closer. Kelvin Herrera is still one of the nastiest cards in this whole game. One of my favorite relievers this year. He's just been awesome. All right, a couple more here. Let's see. We got 2 more guys, and then I'll cover some guys that I think could get upgrades, but I didn't see anything crazy, so I didn't do an official one. Just some guys to kind of have on your radar, some pitchers. All right, Sean Kelly, I think still deserves an upgrade. And he doesn't need much to get to silver. I think he's a silver pitcher. If Aaron Barrett can be a silver, Sean Kelly needs to be a silver. He's got a career best strikeout and walk rate, career worst home run rate. So 2 more points on the strikeouts, 10 points on the walks, but I'm gonna ding him on the homers. I got to. However, I didn't go crazy on it though, because this is a spike year. He's never really had home run issues. This is his career worst rate, but he's usually been a good home run suppressor, so I didn't want to go ham on it. Again, Aaron Barrett is an 82. Get out of here. So Sean Kelly, oh my God, it kept him the same. Got to be honest though. I mean, he deserves the home run downgrade, so I had to do it. You know, I wonder if like 1 point would keep him. I'm gonna manipulate a little bit here and see if we're like 1 point away. Yeah, it's one. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be cheesy. I'm only gonna give him a -7 on homers to get him to silver, because I think he deserves silver. I really do. And I know that only really matters for the market, especially because homers doesn't matter at all for us. But he's such a filth monster. His strikeout rate is just obscene. Look at that break, 94. So, okay, I cheesed it, but we moved him up to a 78. Next up, he hasn't officially been named the closer, so I'm gonna do the upgrade, and then I'll do the upgrade moving him to closing pitcher as well. That's Cam Bedrosian, for those of you that know the Angels. Former son of former closer Steve Bedrosian, who I believe actually won a Cy Young as a reliever, which is pretty rare. Steve Bedrosian was really good when he pitched too. I think for the Phillies, I remember him for the Twins. I think he pitched for the Phillies before I was born, and before all of you were probably born. All right, he was upgraded on July 1st, but since then he's allowed 3.8 hits. Yes, 3.8 hits per night in over a month. 2.3 walks, 16.5 strikeouts, and no homers. Those numbers are so ridiculous, it's not even funny. So, let's go with 5 on the hits, 5 on the homers. I got 4 on the strikeouts. Could maybe even do more there. I might have sold him short. And then 4 on the 4 on the walks. Now, historical is going to come into play with the walks. That's why I didn't quite move it up too much. But that's where we are. What are these commands that you guys are putting in? I don't think that they're right. There you go. That's what you're looking for. All right, so we got him from a 73 up to a 90. No, 76. But that's just with the upgrade as is. Now, I don't think they've officially said he's the closer, even though Houston Street is on the DL. But I'm going to move him here anyway. And let's see what that does. Maybe another couple points. Kept him the same? Am I crazy, or did that keep him exactly the same? Yeah, kept him the same. That's interesting. Huh. Almost everybody gets an upgrade from that. Not Cam Bedrosian, apparently. You know what needs upgrading? The control of his pitches. And they have shown that they will do that. Who was it that they did it recently for? Oh, Michael Fulmer. And so they've shown that, you know, again, they're pretty tough on these young guys. Now, he's got some history that's really weighing him down. Coming into this year, Cam Bedrosian was not just bad, guys. Like, he was awful. All he could do was strike out guys. He allowed 10.8 hits, 5.3 walks, 5.3 walks. That's insane. He had a 179 whip in 52 and 2/3 innings with a 5.81 ERA. So that's weighing on him. But he's shown that he's got more control than a 38. They need to give him a little bit more control here. So I'm going to go, I'll go 10 points on the fastball. I'm going to go 30. Nah, I'll go 20 points on the slider there. I'll go 10 on the cutter. I'll go 10 on the. So what's that moving up to? That moves his control up to a 50, and that's fine, from a 38 to a 50, and it gives him an extra point as well to a 77. So that's gonna be the official. We're gonna call him a 77, and he's on his way, man. He's on his way. I think he'll get silver pretty quickly then if if this is if these are the upgrades that they give him, and he's still a bronze, he continues to pitch like this, he'll be a silver in no time. All right, so those are the official upgrades. Couple of guys that I looked at and I didn't quite see enough to get him there. Did they move Andrew Cashner to this team yet? No, he's still on the Padres. Andrew Cashner, I couldn't quite get him there. He's pitching well lately, but he is already an 81, so he is already a silver. I didn't see much to like really go crazy, but he could get a small upgrade. Another guy who's going to be moved to this team actually, Matt Moore, also already a silver, so I didn't really see too much. But again, pitching well, so I'm just acknowledging these guys. Keep them on your radar, I guess. These are more of like watch list guys. And then Marcus Stroman, same sort of deal here. Already a silver. Don't see a ton of upgrades. He's really improved his hits and strikeouts lately. But again, we can't just go off of 4 or 5 starts for a guy that's pitched in the majors a decent bit. So that's where we are with those upgrades. Obviously,